Alright guys, so let's jump into it. Let's talk about The Witcher. Because I binge watched this whole season. Okay, I first watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, loved it, had a break, and then watched the last 4. It's only 8 episodes for season 1. But it was really, really well done. But before we go getting into the whole praising it and everything like that, because there's a lot of praise that needs to be showed, let's talk about some of the bad sides. Okay. There's 2 things in this that bugged me, or that I found hard or confusing or whatever it may be. The first one is the non-linear storytelling. The jumping from point to point to point in the timeline. Things don't happen in order. For example, the first episode and the 8th episode go full circle. There are parts in, like, for example, episode 3 that happen after, for example, episode 4 or 5. And it jumps around all over the place. And there's no real date system for you to work out where things happen at what time frame. So it's a lot of the time you're trying to work out exactly when things fit into each other. Like, for example, this part and this part, when did they happen? Was this before or after? So that in itself was confusing, because at the end of the day, you're sitting there thinking, well, hang on, is this before? Is this after? When did this happen? What date? It gets really, really confusing. By the end of the 8th episode, you've managed to work most of it out in your head. And I do get why they have done that. They have done that because obviously they needed to go through and to do this character development. Season 2, they have said they are trying to make it more more linear. So hopefully season 2 will be a lot better. But yeah, the first season, it really does jump around all over the place. So if you're going in and you're watching this, guys, fully expect it to be all over the shop. Try and expect that, because at the end of the day, otherwise, you're going to be sitting there scratching your head going, what the hell's going on? The second thing that bugs me was there was a scene with Yennefer, the sorceress, who is, by the way, smoking. But yeah, oh girl. But anyway, what I was going to say was there was a scene with Yennefer, and she's in a carriage with a queen. And the queen goes on about how they're just breeding machines for the men. And it was this whole feminist movement. And I could feel my spine sort of, cringing out of my back and trying to run away. It was pretty cringe. And it was the only scene really about that, except for maybe with the queen. But yeah, I don't want to get into spoilers. But yeah, there's not much of it, so don't worry. It's not being ruined by progressive politics or anything like that. But there was 1 or 2 scenes where it's sort of like, I can feel my spine cringing out of my back. Like, calm down on the identity politics. But apart from that, the rest of it was amazing. Special effects, not overly used. In fact, if you want to actually make a complaint about the fact that it's supposedly a monster movie and there weren't a lot of monsters, you could probably make that argument. I presume season 2 will obviously ramp that up a lot. But yeah, at the end of the day, special effects, when they were used, were great. You can tell it has high production value. The sets look amazing. The scenes look amazing. The magic that was shown there looks amazing when it's done. Like I say, with obviously CGI. But yeah, and when they do use the CGI, it really does nail the part. It really does look really good. The storyline is amazing. They don't hold back. Anybody that was worried about the nudity and the adult themes being toned down because of Netflix, don't worry, they don't. There is full-on scenes with characters getting it on. There's blood, there's guts. It is a dark horror maybe. But yeah, it's definitely a dark history telling, or dark storytelling, and they do not tone down on the blood, guts, sex, or violence, which is great. I loved it. Watching Yennefer Really does make the TV show really worthwhile. But like I say, look, at the end of the day, obviously, Henry Cavill actually nails the part of Geralt. I think his name's Geralt. I might be mispronouncing. Don't find me. I haven't played the game. But the Henry Cavill's character really does nail the look. He looks absolutely amazing in this. He really does sell that part. The Ciri, Ciri, I think her name is. Mispronouncing. She looks amazing. Yennefer looks drop dead gorgeous. But at the end of the day, like I say, that it's everybody does a really, really good part. Does a really, really good job of selling their roles. Which is weird because supposedly gamers are, toxic masculinity, and here we are cheering on these female leads. Don't tell the mainstream media. And this is where obviously you get into some of the established media has had major problems with this. Entertainment, for example, came out and did an article on this, even though they admitted they watched 1 and 2, they watched episode 5, and that's all they watched. So they watched 3 out of 8 episodes, and they didn't like it. Yeah, we don't do that here. We actually watch and play the game or the movie or the show before we review it. Just, if entertainment wants to go through and obviously take notes, this is how you do it. But at the end of the day, I loved it. I really, really did love that. I really loved the show. I'm super duper looking forward to season 2. I really want to know where they're going to go with it. The storyline has been set up really, really well. And now, obviously, with them focusing more of a linear point of view, or a linear way of telling the story, it should be a lot easier to follow. That'll get rid of one of the major gripes that I had with it, was just this whole bouncing around all over the story. But that said, the storytelling, the short stories, and all the storytelling in this is absolutely beautiful. And like I say, the monsters, you could make the argument the monsters are a little bit weird CGI looking, but they're supposed to be monsters, so they're not supposed to be pretty, sort of thing. So at the end of the day, but like I say, Henry Cavill nailed it. For anybody that doesn't know, he's a big gamer. He has literally played The Witcher 3 a couple of times, and he's a huge gamer. He petitioned to get this role. He literally had his agent contact them on a daily basis to find out if he had the role. And I think he did a really, really good job. I think they really nailed the role of getting him to come in and to play this part. He really does nail it. And not only him, but like I say, the girl that plays Anya Karata, I'm mispronouncing that. She plays Yennefer. She does an amazing job. The girl that plays Ciri, Freya Allen, does an amazing job. Like I say, even some of the minor characters, like for example, the guy that plays Dara, does an amazing job. Like I say, at the end of the day, there are some really strong performances here. And you can tell that the guys that made this really did enjoy having a load of fun making this. You can tell that this is literally a labour of love. Henry Cavill says, at the end of the day, this is why he got into acting, was so that he could go through, make these sort of shows, make these sort of fantasy novel sort of movies and enjoy it, because he loves this world. He loves this dark fantasy horror sort of stuff. But like I say, hey guys, if you have not seen it, The Witcher, it is out on Netflix. It came out on the 20th of December. It is super duper cool. Really, really cool. Go check it out, because I absolutely loved it. I'll probably binge watch the season again, just in case. Now that I know how the story timeline works all out, I'll probably watch it again later, in a few days after Christmas, just so I can sort of, pick up on things I might have missed. I can tell why the fans love it. I can tell why the establishment media hates it. This has a lot of fan service in it. This movie or this show is based on the books, and they have, from my understanding, kept pretty close to the existing lore. And that sort of bugs people because this is supposedly, the mainstream media has this narrative of gamers being toxic masculinity and, hating women and, Gigi and all this sort of stuff. And here we are cheering on these female leads. The girl that plays Jennifer, for example, she can give Gerald a run for his money. Like her and him, if they went over to fight, it would be a bloody good battle. And at the end of the day, the on-set chemistry between those two characters is pretty cool as well. I don't think I'm spoiling anything there when I say that. But at the end of the day, like I say, they've done an amazing job. And if you haven't checked it out, definitely go and do that. As for establishment media hating on this, that should be all the more reason for you to go and check it out. Because how often has mainstream media got this wrong? But like I say, look, at the end of the day, guys, definitely go and check it out. It's really, really cool. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on The Witcher, the TV series? Did you think it stuck close to the lore? Did you like it, the fact that it was based on the books? Do you think there were some things in there that they had switched or that they didn't carry over from the books that they should have? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button, and we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Go and watch The Witcher. It's super cool. Alright? Swords, badass monster killers, and nudity and violence, and go watch it. It's cool. Have a great day, guys, and enjoy.